Pisato's asking for a handball. If that's Evander, he might be our 9th red-carded player in Leagues Cup. He is! Another twist!
Welcome to Instant Replay. For the months of July and August, we've got a very special edition of the show, Leagues Cup Instant Replay. I'm your host, Andrew Wiebe, and as always, we're taking a closer look at the most controversial refereeing decisions that we spot and you send our way. We start this edition of the show in Portland for Timbers Tigres. And the big decisions were 2 yellow cards for Portland playmaker Evander, which saw him sent off and the Timbers lose late on. Let's take a closer look at both bookings. I have to say, I don't have a single problem with the first yellow card. Watch Evander stick out his arm here and chicken wing a little bit as the Tigres player bends down to head the ball. To me, that is reckless. I think Evander is acting with disregard to the danger to or consequences for his opponent there, sticking the arm out to where the head is going to be and making contact. That's an easy yellow card for me. Now, the big controversy is the second yellow card that led to the red. 43rd minute, Evander loses the ball. He's fighting to win it back, and watch him throw his hand out there and see where the hand lands, on the head of the Tigres player, who immediately calls attention to that contact to the referee. Castellanos takes a beat, waits, produces the second yellow card, and sends Evander off. Evander is speechless, and Portland head coach Gio Savarese was not happy with this call after the game. In the moment, I was unhappy as well. For me, I felt like it ruined what was an amazing match. But ultimately, on the laws, I can't argue too much with the decision from Castellanos. Though I maybe wanted to see the game management side pulled out here, understanding that a second yellow for this offense was going to change things, ultimately the responsibility is on Evander. He's on a yellow card already, and he's throwing his hand/arm at the head of an opponent. When you do that, you put yourself at risk. Ultimately, he made contact. I do think it was deliberate, and the end result is a second yellow card. All right, let's go to Nashville-Toluca. First half stoppage time. Alex Muyl is clearly handling the ball. As you can see, the big question is, where did that offense occur? Initially, Ricardo Montero, the referee, says it was outside the 18, no penalty. But the VAR, Luis Enrique Santander Aguirre, says, hold on, look where that contact actually occurred. And when you see it, you can't unsee it. Muyil's hand and the ball are directly over the line of the 18-yard box, which is inside the penalty area, which makes this a penalty kick. Well done to the refereeing crew on that call. I am still struggling, however, to understand why Teal Bunbury was sent off in the 85th minute. His first yellow card is a little bit soft, but if you look closely, it does look like Teal makes contact with the goalkeeper for Toluca, Volpe. Given that there's contact, I think that's reckless and a fair yellow card. It's the second yellow I take issue with. This is clearly for unsporting behavior. Teal Bunbury said something that, in the opinion of Ricardo Montero, the referee, was bad enough to deserve a second yellow and a sending off. My question is, what did Teal Bunbury say? Bunbury himself seems very surprised, though he is clearly frustrated and angry about the call that had just occurred. He seems very surprised to be sent off for what he said. Now, I don't know what was said. For me, in this situation, the referee has to manage the game and understand where Bunbury is. He's frustrated. Yes, this is a professional soccer game with high stakes. It's been a heated match as well. So I would want the threshold to be very, very high. But alas, I don't know what was said. Ultimately, it's Montero's judgment. He made the judgment call in the end, but I remain a little bit baffled by this decision. It's time to talk DOGSO. We start with Chivas Cincinatti, 45th minute. Cincinnati up 2-0. Aaron Bupinza's in behind, and Gilberto Sepulveda is saying, I'm not going to let that happen, and he pulls him down. Clearly a foul. Nobody is debating this, and originally a yellow card by Benjamin Pineda, the referee. Seems pretty fair, I thought, but Alan Chapman, the VAR, gets in Pineda's ear and says, go check this out. I see DOGSO here. Pineda takes a look and pulls the red. Now look, I can understand the decision for the red card. Sepulveda is completely cynical here. He pulls, he grabs, he doesn't play the ball, and he prevents Bupinza from making a play toward goal. My question is, does this meet the 4 buckets of DOGSO that we've become familiar with on this show? In particular, is the direction of this play toward goal? It looks to me like Bupinza's touch is taking him away from goal. I also see 2 Chivas defenders recovering. Because of the general direction of the play, in my opinion, more away from goal than toward, and the location and the number of defenders who I think are there to recover, I'm not so sure this is an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. I am sure that this is cynical and that we don't know what would have happened if Sepulveda did not grab Bupenza. On a clear and obvious threshold, my opinion would be that the call on the field should probably stand. This is clearly DOGSO. Dallas Necaxa, 11th minute. Alan Montes chasing Bernard Kamungo down from behind, sliding, tackling. Kamungo goes down, and if you watch the replays closely, help me out, Editor Phil, you can see that the right foot of Montes contacts Kamungo's foot and ankle. That contact takes Kamungo down. Given he's on the way to goal and all alone, that is denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity and a red card. Well done to Joe Dickerson on that one. And well done to referee Mario Escobar in the Miami-Atlanta game. 84th minute, Derek Etienne Jr. played in behind the Miami back line, and Miami defender Chris McVey just straight up pulls him down. He's not attempting to play the ball. He is denying Etienne what is going to be a 1v1 shooting opportunity inside the 18-yard box from a good angle. That is denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and since McVey doesn't play the ball, he gets both a penalty called against him and a red card. Given we've established that double jeopardy here, let's talk DOGSO when you do attempt to play the ball, or at least plausibly so. Santos Houston, 59th minute. Arnold Preciado is in behind the Houston back line. Initially, there was an offside flag, but we can see he's clearly onside, and what we can also see is Micael fouls him. The question is, did the Dynamo defender play the ball? This is going to be a penalty. The question is, should it be a red card? And I think it is just plausible enough that Micael's left foot is reaching out to try to get contact on the ball to not send him off in this situation, but ultimately, it's a judgment call. And this is definitely a judgment call in Philly Querétaro. 10th minute, Micael Ua. Arm to the face of the Querétaro defender. Ouch, that's some tough contact there. The call on the field by referee Daniel Parchment was a yellow card, which I think looks about right, but Oscar Mejia Garcia, the VAR, says, hey, you should go look at the monitor on this one. This could be violent conduct. The question you have to ask yourself when you watch this play is, was that arm to the face deliberate? If it's deliberate, I think you have grounds for violent conduct. Parchment decides it's not deliberate. He stays with his yellow card call on the field. I think, all things considered, despite seeing that glance out of the corner of Ua's eyes, I agree. I don't think he deliberately hit the defender in the face. He was just trying to clear space. Now, if he had cocked that elbow and swung back, for me, easy red card, violent conduct all day, but Ua stays on. 2 PK calls from that game. The first one in the 36th minute is pretty obvious. Watch here as Julian Carranza is taken down by the Querétaro goalkeeper. Yep, you see the contact. Carranza goes down. Easy called there. Not quite as easy in the 62nd minute. Emilio Gularte takes down Jesus Bueno. But when I watch this back, I can see why Gularte might feel a little hard done by. Is it Gularte's left arm coming across Bueno that takes him down? Or is Bueno grabbing Gularte with his left arm, using that momentum to make it look like a penalty and going down easy? It's a little bit of both in my opinion, but ultimately Gularte, in making contact and coming across the attacking player, puts himself in a tough position. That's going to be called a penalty all day. Last play for us on this show, Minnesota-Chicago. Kei Kamara scores the game winner, but he kicks his opponent in the face. Minnesota United fans sent me this one and said, hey, what is this? It's got to be a foul. It's something, right? In my opinion, that's just really unlucky for DJ Taylor. There's no intent here from Kei. He's jumping to head this one. It's an unfortunate coming together, but I do want to say best of luck to DJ Taylor. My understanding is he had to have stitches after the game for this contact. Hope all is well for him, and I hope all is well for you, and you are enjoying Leagues Cup. What a tournament it has been so far. If you see something on the field from a refereeing perspective, please say something. You know where to get at me. As always, I got to say thanks to the folks that make this show possible, producer Rich Hernandez and my editor, Phil Lavanco. I'm Andrew Wiebe. We'll see you next time.